Well, we'll find out if they'll be able to resolve that. We've got the players ready and in the lobby. So Jorby and CJ, you guys take it away.
Well, CJ, what do you think? What do you think about Alpine and Charlotte Phoenix?
I'm glad you asked, Jorby, as I think we're about to get straight into this one. Charlotte, look, I was impressed with them yesterday, but then today it wasn't quite as hot. You know what I mean? Obviously, Dapper coming into this Charlotte lineup and you know, trying to shake things up a bit. Shadow was so impressive yesterday. I thought Karma was really impressive yesterday. But then today, they sort of got blown out of the water a bit by Plot Twist. And in terms of Alpine, they're obviously a newly promoted team into the RLCS. Obviously, that's not really a thing, but you know, they have that sort of accreditation to their name. And they were pretty impressive in the lower bracket, beating Valence. So I think it's going to be a good match.
We are underway in the first game for Shadow trying to carry forward. I thought that in the earlier match today, there was a lot of confusion from Charlotte as they almost put one on target, but it's taken away. They had some good progressions, but then whenever they were forced back on a counterattack, if their third man didn't get blown out, they were forced to use a lot of boosts and waste a lot of it just to make a less than stellar touch to try to clear the ball out. But they're doing a good job right now. He's been working around the defense, taking boost away, Shadow getting that corner. It forces Jordan to work for his lunch here, but he gets that and maybe a little bit of dinner as Karma tries to get this out. We've all of a sudden switched sides.
And a little bit of whiffing going on in that first series for Charlotte in particular, which I guess, you know, if you're a Charlotte fan or if you're playing for Charlotte, it is a positive. I mean, they did lose, but it's not like they played their best, Jorby. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of improvement, and we see that solo play potential as demos are already coming out for Karma on the Charlotte side.
And Karma still dealing with that injury as well. We talked about it earlier, but you know, that obviously is going to affect just how you approach the entire game when you have just that. When you have any kind of pain that you're dealing with in your hands, it's going to be difficult to use the controller comfortably for a long period of time. So that will certainly have an effect. And Shadow getting a mid-air bump calculated past the Dapper, but it turns back to Jordan, and the first goal belongs to Alpine.
Bit of a demolition derby to start off with. We've got bumps coming out left, right, and center, but just a great 50-50 there from Percy. Leaves a open sort of shot for Jordan. Karma couldn't quite get back after the demo, and starting well already, Alpine.
Yeah, and again, I thought Charlotte, they started out, they had a good push. They were stealing boosts. It was pretty tenuous. A lot of the challenges were very close. But then two counterattacks that I thought really just stifled any momentum that they had built. Now here's Percy again, almost finding the read against Karma, who keeps it close. Opted to try to take it herself. Charlotte struggling to get out of the blue half. Percy again in front. And it'll slow down here as Karma looks to carry it out. Oh, Karma. Nope, it's going to be blocked. Oh, she got it back.
Get a little bit saucy. Looks like he's going to come out, though. Dap should be able to deal with this, grabbing some boost. But Charlotte definitely need to warm up. Obviously, they've had that one game already today, but still just not quite looking as polished as yesterday. And still waiting sort of for Shadow to really step up and bring that solo play potential that we know and love.
We talked a lot about Charlotte, but as Alpine put on another shot, I thought yesterday Jordan looked especially solid. Ooh, almost dunking in front of the net Karma. Jordan actually comes back on this, sends it in front. Alpine finding ways through the defense, but one transition forces Percy up to try to get a clear. This isn't going to be too threatening from Charlotte. I felt like that was their opportunity to really turn the screws onto Alpine, but now they're forced to work low boost in midfield.
Yeah, not too much to work with this. That gets an awkward read there. Karma does bail him out, and just think Alpine, they've got a lot of different players that can step up. I think when you look at Charlotte, you're really thinking of Shadow in terms of that solid playability. Obviously, Karma can bring it out on her day as well, but obviously with that injury, it's certainly going to hamper her. But I've been really impressed with Magic Bear in previous sort of tournaments, so I really think that he can sort of step up when he needs to. Yeah,
Magic Bear, also Percy, who just went for the attempted flip reset but got challenged. But I thought Percy, when we saw him in Fusion and in Salt Mine when he was trying to get in, I thought that he's one of these up-and-coming talents in North America, and I really like his play. I think he complements Jordan and Magic Bear really well on this Alpine roster. There's certainly a lot to love about this team moving forward right now. Still putting some pressure on Charlotte Phoenix. Dapper can't find a clear out. Percy goes in front of it again, but Shadow will have a nice carry out towards midfield again.
Not too much happening, or is there? A little 50 comes in from Magic Bear, and Alpine just still pressuring, constant pressure, constant boost control. That's a great beat from Jordan, and Charlotte just double committing everywhere, and still 1-0, and Alpine with the lead. Charlotte just not really looking Jorby at the moment. They can get it out of defense and get that equalizing goal.
Oh, Shadow, he'll be able to backflip into it. Now he's got
Here we
Dapper
go.
on the wing. Dapper diving in front to prevent the hard clear back. Karma takes the boost as well. It's a good look for Charlotte. They still need the goal. Not the best touch from Magic Bear. Charlotte looking for the tying goal, but Percy denies one. Dapper getting denied by Magic Bear. Karma will steal the boost, but the ball is behind her. And forced back is Shadow as he carries again. Time running out. Magic Bear attempted clear. Shadow trying to get the bump onto Jordan, but another clear and more time wasted on the clock. Alpine just need to hold on, maybe get some insurance at the end. Clear by Dapper. Karma looking for the reach. He gets the demo, almost slipped it by the defender. Shadow, one more try to Karma. She's got it on the side wall. Plenty of boosts. Right under it. Dapper, the carry, but will be challenged. The ball down. No catch. Alpine will take the first game.
Yeah, they had a little bit of a late surge there, Charlotte. You just thought maybe if they had those 2-on-1 opportunities, if they could get that bump and secure that equaliser, but unfortunately, nothing did transfold there from Charlotte, Phoenix, and Alpine do take game number 1. Pretty impressive display.
Yeah, I thought, again, Percy, he had 4 saves. There was 2 critical ones that really killed Charlotte's momentum. The one late counterattack they had in the last minute, Percy had to make a diving stop against the crossbar, and he kept it close, and it forced Charlotte to hesitate. And every time Charlotte Phoenix are forced to hesitate, they end up just giving up possession. Like, they don't ever have a plan B, and they always have to start from their own corners, and it's taxing, as we've seen on their boost management and on their overall pressure.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that for Charlotte, Jorby, they've got a lot up their sleeve. I mean, that's a positive if you are a Charlotte fan. I mean, Shadow still hasn't really quite stepped up as of yet, but as we get into game number 2, I think that Charlotte, they've already lost that first match. This is their lower bracket. It's do or die for both teams. I'm sure they'll be able to step it up and create some sort of a series.
Now Shadow, he's got a chance, but tough to do with low boosts. Dapper can only delay the inevitable, which is a boomer back down to Charlotte Phoenix territory. Karma, more low boost. She's not going to be able to do much, though. Maybe a bit of a harder touch would have been helpful. They're not going to get it. And Percy takes it again, looking for a pass in front of the box, denied by Shadow. And Dapper getting it as well. These are good challenges by Charlotte Phoenix. Shadow flipping past one, tried to sneak under Magic Bear. And a good progression from Charlotte Phoenix to get out of defense. Second to third man pass. Jordan tried to hop the route. They took out a defender. Where's the shot on net? It's never going to come. Another clear for Alpine.
Charlotte's seemingly just trying to take these one-on-one, one-on-two opportunities in these solo plays, and it's not quite working out at the moment. Alpine's defense just looking a little bit too strong as an awkward touch comes out from Dap. Here's the double touch opportunity. Magic Bear just gets saved away by Shadow. Great defense from Charlotte.
And Shadow immediately recognized what was going on and hopped in front to make the save. Now Dapper, tough spot, but Karma bails him out. Karma, 2-on-1 the other way, flipped, saved again. This time by Jordan, but the ball still high up in front of the box. And Percy will carry it out safely. So Alpine, when in immediate danger, well, they get the hard clears every time. And again, midfield theirs, but Percy will miss the pass.
Yeah, great defense coming out from both sides so far in game number 2. We've had good looks, good opportunities from both sides, but still scoreless here. It's all going to be about who can get that first goal. Jordan might be able to put that one away, and he does. Buries it into the top right corner.
And this is the real danger of Magic Bear. These types of passes, finesse on the touch, puts it only where Jordan can get it. Karma has to stretch to even try to make a challenge. And we saw Magic Bear do this yesterday. He had that crazy pass where he just full boosts up the sidewall as he touches the ball, then just flips off the ceiling and hits a laser pass to Jordan to score yesterday. I mean, this dude is a top-tier passer, and it's excellent to watch. Not a lot of people can have consistent finesse on the ball like Magic Bear does.
It looks like he can really do anything. And in that situation there, we saw Shadow. He wanted to watch that backboard, but then with his teammates committing, he had to get dropped down and get in net. And he just sort of got caught in midair there as the shot came out. Great placement there from Jordan. And 1-0 again, sort of a similar story to last game for Alpine.
Well, Percy used everything in the tank just to try to force a challenge. This will be Charlotte's ball. That's a great touch in midfield. Shadow, if he can get around this, he can really force Percy to work for it. But Percy, expecting a touch from the other team, he won't have it and forces a save out of Jordan. Again, yeah.
Plays that ball across, and I think that right now it's all about Charlotte, whether they can get that offensive pressure and just get some boost control in this sort of game. Right now it's a lot of midfield play, and just Charlotte seems to just be pretty easy to back off. And if we can just see that boost control, Jorby, perhaps some bumps and demos to really shake up that positioning. There's an open net. That's what they need. Karma ties it up.
Yeah, beautiful progression here from Charlotte Phoenix. It's a high ball from Shadow. I believe a demo as well, so that's going to delay the rotation. And it's a great pass from Shadow to Karma. They haven't gotten a lot of those looks. But, you know, to your point, CJ, I think that, like, we see those midfield passes from Charlotte Phoenix, and they nail them, but then there's nothing after that. There's no idea past that. No one's positioned to keep the sustained pressure up for them, and they use a lot of their boosts just to get to some challenges. So I think it's more a positioning thing than anything for Charlotte Phoenix. They have the right touches moving down the field, but then on offense, they just feel kind of lost. They do get that open net, and now they're going to progress down the field again. One man to beat. Percy got just thrown to the other side of the arena, but no goal. Doesn't matter. It's straight in front of the box for Alpine. Percy not even going to sweat with no Charlotte Phoenix homing around. Nice flick. Saved out.
Yeah, it's like what, just getting back to your point there, I like to call it the 1-up, 2-back mentality, where you get that play, that person that's pushing downfield gets that beat or that pass, but nothing really eventuates because, you know, both members of his team are still waiting back and probably playing a little bit safe. So right now we've just seen Charlotte sort of trying to change that up a little bit. We've seen some demos, we've seen some sort of plays that are being followed up, and that's what you need to create pressure. Karma, great shot there, gets the lead for Charlotte.
Yeah, this time in position for this challenge. Shadow gets a great challenge and really just he forced the defender to play that ball straight up. Karma was ready for it, knew exactly where the play was going to go, and put it on paint. So it looks good for Phoenix, much cleaner, especially handling counterattacks from Alpine. Well, Percy wants a quick goal. There is time for Alpine. Plenty of it, but Shadow, tough guy to get a read on as he works to clear it out for Charlotte. Still just kind of rotating around for Phoenix. Dapper flying back to keep the progression going. Just nothing really developing. Actually, Alpine forced to dive back off of another challenge from Karma. Picking up a demo to open up the net. Can Dapper get it around? He can. Charlotte Phoenix, huge insurance late.
Karma has been absolutely everywhere here in game number 2, and the demos again, their second goal, their second open net, coming from a demo from Charlotte, and that's what we were talking about earlier. That's what we were looking for. Something to sort of shake up the structure, the positioning of Alpine there, and those demos, that's what they can do.
Well, now, at this stage, Alpine are just looking towards game 3. For all intents and purposes, they were shut down on offense, and they had some good counterattacks. Give credit to Charlotte Phoenix. They made the adjustments. I thought their ability to manage risks has been questionable at times, and even at the start of this tournament, but in this game too, if they keep playing like that, I think that's the Charlotte Phoenix that people think they're going to see when they watch them play.
100%. That is exactly the way they need to play. I mean, even if it's not a demo, now it's just in the back of the mind of these players on Alpine that they do have that up their sleeve, Jorby. I mean, once you start sort of bringing out that demo game, it's always in the back of your mind, and then all of a sudden the clears become a little bit more rushed. You sort of you know, worried about if you're last man, you know, you don't want to be demoed, you don't want to be caught out. So people start to creep up, push forward, and the structure can really break down. So I think that just bringing that out now, if they don't continue that demo game, I think it's really going to force Alpine to come back a little bit in their structure, in their play, and that can create some offensive pressure for Charlotte. So huge win for them in game number 2 to tie the series up, and they're looking strong.
Yeah, Alpine need to find a way to create more space, I think. I feel like they had space to, you know, in abundance in game 1, and it just wasn't there. Charlotte were really aggressive, especially on offense, making sure that, you know, any ball could be challenged if it was able to. So I like the approach from Phoenix for sure, but for Alpine, you can kind of play around that, right? I'm curious how they decide to mix it up here heading into Game 3 as the players take the pitch.
I mean, there's always that strategy, Jorby. If you can't beat them, join them. They could always just ramp up that demo game themselves and absolutely take it to them. Or the other strat that I like to sort of implement, and I think it's really effective, is just being fast around the pitch. Really. I mean, if you move around quick, it's obviously hard to demo, and if the team's flowing and rotating very fast, it's very hard to sort of disrupt that. So perhaps if Alpine could sort of step up their speed of their play, we could see them really get some pressure and nullify that demo game.
We'll see if they can kick it up another gear. Alpine, it's Magic Bear, the last man back, but Percy gives him some room to breathe, but still it's Shadow coming up quick against Karma, but Jordan just twirling like a ballerina, but couldn't get the touch. Percy can pick it up. Oh, I don't get the boost. I don't get the ball. I don't get the pass. Oh, and he's denied!
Nearly the goal.
Bear. Oh my gosh! That's it.
There
okay,
we go.
All right. They deserve that one, right?
A little bit of a reward for effort there. What a save from Shadow. Managing to also sort of clear it to the side, but the ball comes straight back in from Magic Bear. Percy puts that one away in Alpine. That's the sort of speed play that can really catch teams out. I mean, we spoke about it. Just step up that speed, step up that aggression, and you can catch yourself with a nice goal early on.
Well, off the kickoff, it'll be Charlotte Phoenix. And everyone pulls off on that touch as Percy was definitely expecting a challenge, but they do get out. With the boost in tow, Jordan's forced back. Magic Bear to make a challenge. Karma already in front. The positioning so aggressive from Charlotte Phoenix. Almost a dunk into the net, but saved from Percy. The only reason Alpine aren't down like 3-0 is, well, their defense has been pretty solid positionally. Ooh, Percy barely getting the touch before getting demoed. The net is open. One more touch will do it. Shadow puts it in, and it's a tie game.
So demo plays again coming out. A little bit of an unintentional one there, and Dap just beating the last defender out. And we saw even in that play before that, Karma didn't get the demo, but it forced Percy to, stuff up his position. He was caught front post facing backwards in an awkward spot. Had to make an awkward save, and a demo didn't even come out, but it's in the back of the mind. That might be an open net, though. It is. Top left corner shot from Percy, coming off a little bit of a misplay from Charlotte.
And Shadow was the man trying to make the save. He did get a piece of it, but as soon as he turned back, it was too late. He was coming up expecting maybe the ball to move forward, and then he had to turn tail and run, couldn't pick up the save. So just as you give, you give back. Alpine, they might be able to push up with this, but Dapper coming in to follow up for Charlotte Phoenix. Long game to go.
Such an interesting thing as well, Joel. Those sort of kickoff goals, I'm not sure, I think it was James or someone spoke about it yesterday that, actually I think it was Johnny, he said, the kickoffs, they're the only set piece in Rocket League, yet we still see so many times, particularly in that situation, the ball just pinches off the wall, and Dapper, instead of turning net, he turns upfield, gets caught under it, and can't make the read. And I mean, you work so hard to score a goal as that was nearly an open look, and then he just goes straight to the kickoff and you give it straight back. I really think these teams need to sort of polish it up a bit in terms of their kickoffs.
I mean, I know that, if 1v1, if Saltmine has taught us anything, it's that, there are some pros, some high-level players that just absolutely detest kickoffs in 1v1, so that should give you an idea of how they feel about kickoffs in general. But, I think that we've seen it on the field. It have a real effect on the outcome of a game in 3v3, and I think it absolutely matters. I think teams need to be more aware of their positioning. I think there are pro teams that do it, and those teams you find way more successful, not just off the kickoff, but in general.
Yeah, look at Reno Vitality. I mean, they're the prime example there. They've got the best kickoff in the world. These guys rarely concede. I mean, I'm not sure if it's just their 1v1 experience or something of that nature, but they always lock it down. And in terms of this game, I mean, Charlotte, as we said, they worked hard for the equaliser, then that kickoff goal just puts them down as Shadow bails out Karma there, couldn't quite get the touch. And I mean, these sort of kickoffs, you'd rather just not concede a goal at all than be too aggressive off the kickoff.
Well, nice high touch from Shadow. Dapper ends up using a lot of boost just to get the catch on the back wall, but the ball never gets to him. Karma's still downfield, has Shadow on the wing, but the challenge will force Dapper behind the ball. He's got another touch, but again, good defense from Alpine. They're just kind of letting Charlotte give them the ball back, but that's the look Charlotte are giving them. Pass in front, but Jordan had a stretch And this will be a chance for Shadow for a long clear. Dapper midair has a shot, but it's not even close.
Oh, this is open.
Yeah, Percy put it in, and he does. Percy, slow and steady, puts you into Phoenix's net and gives you 3 goals.
Shadow just overcommitting that last man, perhaps getting a little bit too aggressive considering they were down a goal, but there was still a minute left. I mean, it wasn't really panic stations at that point for Charlotte, so we saw both second and third man from Charlotte Phoenix commit there and both get beaten to the ball. Leads to an open net, and now it's a 2-goal lead, which looks pretty tough right now for Charlotte.
Nice challenge again from Shadow. Shadow's consistently been trying to carry this ball out of his own half, and then always has a mind about where he's going in relation to who's about to challenge him. That's a good demo from Shadow. Pre-flip in front to keep the ball awkward above Magic Bear. But somehow, some way, Alpine come away clean and back in the blue half. Jordan said, thanks, Magic Bear, and Zapper just dashing back for the save. And he long pass to Karma, picked off in midfield. Percy can't get to it before Shadow finds the touch, but Charlotte Phoenix are on the ropes. They still need 2 goals with about no time left to get it done.
No time at all indeed as Dapper. He gets a 1v1 opportunity. Shadow can't quite squeeze it past the Alpine defense. Karma comes in on the bump, comes out. Percy just saves the ball. Alpine live to fight another day.
That is, he just got back. Like, as soon as he got back, he had to flip. And then Dapper, he didn't even expect Percy to get there in time. And he had dove before Percy got there. Alpine defense pretty much cementing a victory in Game 3. And Charlotte Phoenix, work cut out for them yet again. They got 1 more game left, 1 more life to try to qualify into the main event.
And I think 75% of the goals from Charlotte the last 2 games have come from demos. I think 3 out of the last 4. So it might be a little bit worrying if that's a sort of only avenue to score. We haven't really seen Shadow yet sort of bring that solo playability. We haven't really seen that yet. So there's always that up their sleeve. But right now for Charlotte, that seems like it's their only game. So we'll have to see if they do continue that in game number 4, or they try and shake things up a bit, because obviously in this game they did get that 1 goal from that demo, that open net, but they still lost 3-1, Jorby. So what do you think they have to do to step it back in this series?
I mean, I think that you kind of hit the nail on the head, right? Shadow with space is a really dangerous player, but Shadow hasn't had any space. Alpine have done a really good job locking down passing lanes, and it comes down to these these jump balls in midfield on attempted passes from both sides. It's like a centimeter of difference between the touches in midfield, and like that's kind of where the difference has been. There is no space on this field right now. So I think that, while the demos haven't worked, I don't think that they've gotten demos in, quality demos in quality situations. So I think they have to pick and choose when they go for those things in better situations.
Yeah, I think that just sort of picking and choosing their times, and hopefully in this sort of game for Charlotte, if they can bring that sort of pressure and that aggression, I think that we saw Alpine really step up that speed as we were sort of worried about the demo game from Charlotte. They stepped it up, and they really got some goals from just outpacing the opposition. So now for Charlotte, if they can sort of step that up themselves and get some aggression along with those demos, they should be able to secure some free goals.
Well, it's a nice touch from Shadow, but again, second woman there, long in coming for Karma. Barely got that challenge out. Magic Bear. Ooh, slips past one. Get the pass to Jordan. Jordan back to Magic. To Jordan. No, taken away. Well, Magic to Jordan. That had a similar ring to it. Wrong sport.
Wrong sport indeed, but I like it. I didn't really think about it until now, but that's going to be an open net for Dapper. He's going to lock that one away. Great beat on the sidewall, and Alpine looks to be a little bit slow back there.
Jordan, he was the man who had to rotate back. He had kind of rolled along midfield after the first challenge was lost, and if he wasn't already turning back to go, he was going to be late, and that's what happened. And he ended up not even being in the play at the end. So to me, like that's something that we see even at the RLCS level more than I would expect, is kind of unearned optimism in terms of your positioning, expecting challenge wins in dangerous situations, especially as third man. We talk about risk management, and it really is a huge part of the game, especially at the pro level. Teams that are able to manage their risks effectively typically come away the victors, and I feel Charlotte Phoenix down in front is Dapper, picked up the save and cuts it out. They're going to get another go, but Jordan, he did not manage his risks well there. point I was trying to make, but we're back here with Charlotte Phoenix on offense.
You talk about that risk management. There's an opportunity coming out, but no. Karma can't quite get it. Dab's still going to try to keep the pressure on, and as Alpine do clear it away. But that risk management you talk about, Jorby, I mean, especially on a team that's coming off a win, they get a little bit carried away, a little bit ahead of themselves, and perhaps feel like it's all a little bit too easy for them. And Alpine certainly got caught out there early on in game number 4.
A little bit of space for Karma, but Jordan's ready for it. And it's going to be a quick transition, except Percy couldn't help up to it in time. Does he get the bump on Dapper? No, Dapper just getting the touch. Now turn around again. Karma behind the ball, high off the back wall. But Alpine, well, they're not to be really messed with at all on defense. Charlotte Phoenix, while I feel like overall this team has offensive struggles, it is magnified when you have a team that plays defense and positions on defense as well as Alpine have overall in this series. Here's another chance, double, but no goal. And Karma, too late to the ball. Magic Bear takes it away again. And we gotta slow down a little bit. Percy hopping in front. Alpine back on offense.
Great defense again from Charlotte. Managed to just sort of nullify these counterattacks. And right now for Alpine, that seems to be their play, their go right now, is those counterattack plays. Here we go though, Charlotte. Can they get something? No, Karma's just gonna toss it downfield, and they're 1 goal up now, Charlotte. They don't have to really overcommit, and we saw in game number 1 they were playing that 1-up, 2-back sort of play style, leaving 2 defenders to deal with things, and I think that's going to be really effective now they've got that 1 goal lead.
Trying to push past, but no goal. High ball for Magic Bear, but he's got it. Low boost will take him out of the play. Charlotte Phoenix, it may look haphazard, but they do eventually clear the ball. Ooh, Dapper throws it under Jordan. Shadow is there, but Percy too fast to the ball. Perfect read from Karma. Back on the corner. Are they quick? It's a double commit. They crossed from going 2 different directions. Usually double commits are at least from the same direction. Not this time. Oh, he almost put it in off the top rope. No goal for Dapper.
What a sequence of events there from Charlotte, and we saw that double commit on the offense from Charlotte, which is not what you want to see, especially when you're up a goal, Jorby. I mean, you don't need to score another goal. Obviously, it's nice to get that little buffer, but you should not be double committing in offense, particularly when you have that 1 goal advantage.
Well, Shadow, he knows it. He's not going to risk too much. Actually, all of Charlotte Phoenix are going to sit at midfield. And they're rewarded with possession and a goal. Shadow hits the corner pocket, and it's a 2-goal lead.
That's the beauty of Rocket League. You can just get a goal out of nowhere. The touch from Karma off the wall was enough to get rid of that second man. Percy crept up as the last man back there, out of position. And great placement from Shadow to put that one away. Charlotte now up 2-0 here in game number 4. Looking to bring it to game number 5.
Well, they're going to start with Shadow, trying to prevent a quick goal. Quick pass to Magic Bear, and he gets flung forward. He was flung off a trampoline. Bounce from Percy. Well, Alpine got to go now. Percy keeps it close. Dapper only a managing clear. Back over. Double commit from Charlotte Phoenix. You're up by 2. No need to panic. Shadow gets the touch off the back wall to Karma. And it's good for Charlotte Phoenix. More time wasted off the clock.
Yeah, Charlotte looking to lock this one down. With 30 seconds left, you think that this is a bit of a signed, sealed, delivered sort of operation here in game number 4, and we might get our second game 5, I believe, of the qualifiers. And I've had the privilege, Jorby, of being there for both, so I think I might be the secret source. Here's Magic Bear, though. He's got other ideas. That flies off the backboard, gets the save, and that might be all she wrote here in game 4.
Well, besides the couple of double commits that we saw, I felt like Dapper played an absolutely outstanding game. And, I haven't even looked at the scoreboard yet. He had 5 saves. That sounds about right. So many counterattacks thwarted by Dapper, and awarded in-game MVP. Definitely earned. And now Alpine, they're against the wall here. But is it them against the wall, or is it Charlotte Phoenix, who seem to consistently get in these situations and then fail to execute? And that's kind of my problem with Charlotte Phoenix, is I have to see them execute and win these series before I feel real confidence that they finally got it figured out.
Bit of a PTSD coming out, is that what you're saying here, Jorby?
I've
Here,
seen
game
it too
number
many
5.
times, man. It came out with the same book like 4 different times, and you're telling me book 5 is going to be different this time? I don't know, man.
It's the same script every time, isn't it? Oh, goodness. So we didn't get our predictions at the start, so just tell me quickly, game 5, who you got right now?
Oh, man. You know, I like the way Jordan, Magic Bear, and Percy are synergizing right now. I think that they struggled to get anything going on offense. I felt like Charlotte Phoenix, they did a good job this time playing, not only playing aggressive, but also just barely getting back for a lot of third-man saves or challenges in midfield. I think that's tenuous, and I think Alpine got it figured out here. I think they take this.
I have to agree with you. I mean, I'm a massive Charlotte fan. I'm a massive Dapper fan in particular. But in terms of when it's game number 5, I've just got to back Alpine in. They have that experience in that pressure, or they've had performed under pressure before. We saw in the promotion series or the promotion tournament. So I think game number 5 here. I think that they sort of threw away a little bit that game number 4 early on with that goal that we saw out of nowhere, and I think they can lock it down and secure this bag. Game number 5.
Oh, which Charlotte Phoenix will we see? Will we see this as Shadow just misses the net and no follow-up will be coming? Or will Alpine Esports get it figured out again and then win the game on the merits of their defense? They need it and they can't bring it to muster as Shadow puts the first goal in for Charlotte Phoenix.
That's the caster curse. We just say that Alpine are going to win it, then all of a sudden Shadow says, no, thank you. I'm the new kid on the block, and he buries the top left corner. Great shot there from Shadow.
Prove me wrong.
Great start from Charlotte. Prove us wrong, baby.
Here we go. Off the kickoff, it'll be Shadow jumping back from pretty far, but he'll make your challenge against Percy. It makes it awkward. Dapper coming back out, wants a back pass. Wow. It was on Percy's cam the whole time. Just, I don't have words, really. It was just well done positioning. Didn't panic. Stoic. That's Percy.
That's him. That's what we know and love about
Sure.
him. And
that's all.
The other interesting thing, Jordan, is I thought this was going to be Champions Field. Is this Beck with Park Stormy for the deciding match?
Yeah, you know, it's
What is
storming
going on?
outside. The thunderclouds are out. Somebody warn Karma. And, or maybe this is where she gets her power. Here's a shot on net. Dapper puts another one in. Off the pass from Shadow. That's a 2-goal Charlotte Phoenix lead. Yeah.
I mean, you know, if it gives Karma power, it might just give her teammates at least the power, because right now, Dapper and Shadow putting the first 2 goals away for Charlotte, and they haven't really taken a backward step since they got that first goal, and that's what you need to see. You don't want to see teams sort of score that goal and then go into their shells and sort of, you know, not still pressure the other team. They're looking to pressure, and right now, look at Shadow cutting out those infield passes and pressing forward, creating opportunities for his team.
Yeah, it's
Shot
called
out.
Oh, Karma, top right. Beautiful placement. Well, it's a group AoE buff, and it's called Swirling Storms. You know, you get +5 to accuracy off the crossbar.
Add for your team, I guess, as well. They've all picked up a goal here in game number 5, and Shadow cutting out that infield. That's what we talk about. We want to see when a team does hit the lead. They're still looking to cut out those plays. Dapper puts the 4th goal on the board. This is an absolute smoking in game number 5 for Charlotte Phoenix.
Charlotte Phoenix have completely switched things up on the kickoff. On this cheat up, they've gotten the cheat up 3 times in a row. Shadow, he had to dive for the one that he went for, but it made everything awkward for Percy. And on that one, Dapper just makes a nice move on the juke. And again, the cheat up again gives Charlotte the ball in attacking territory. It's looking a lot like Stromboli against Omelette in our last series, in that last game. Charlotte are really bringing the heat to Alpine.
I mean, if we're going to be wrong, Jorby, I'm happy for it to be Charlotte Phoenix that are on the other end of it. So
I'm not complaining.
Exactly, they've come out so strong here in game number 5, and as you said, they just don't look like there's anything that can get past them. I mean, this is, you know, it's always good to save your best game for the last one, game number 5, the decider.
Yeah, it took the whole series to finally get fully powered up. You know, 3 episodes of powering up, but we finally hit super, and we're going to put another shot on that. Oh, Dapper, can he get back? He'll keep it away from Magic Bear. And Alpine Esports, they're just forced to stretch for every single ball. They're having to play around every move Charlotte Phoenix have, and Dapper especially has really been blazing around the pitch. You talk about just being the fastest player on the field, CJ, and sometimes that's just all it takes to be better than the other team. That's Dapper right now. At least in this last minute and a half, he has been so speedy behind the ball now.
Even just being that, just the mentality behind it. Once you start beating the other team, the frustration starts coming out. The other team start overcommitting or perhaps trying to be too fast to the ball. and then mistakes happen. But for Charlotte Phoenix with 2 minutes left, 4 goals up, they just, as we said, they just haven't really looked like conceding a goal here in game number 5, which has been pretty stark contrast to the other 4 games.
You know, just Alpine are stuck flat-footed. They don't have any boosts. Phoenix have taken everything away from them, and one more goal to really drive the stake through their heart. 5 goals now for Charlotte Phoenix. They've scored an entire series worth of goals for them in one game.
I think Beckwith Park Stormy, that's the source. Just get the storm out, the weather starts turning, and Charlotte Phoenix start turning it up. They've been cranking up their heat here, game number 5, and this one looks all kind of wrapped up.
I felt a shift in the wind. Okay, so doing the calculations, it's not possible.
Okay.
Already done it. It took that long.
Never mind.
Yeah, it's all. Do you got? Oh, sorry. You have a different calculator?
Mine sort of looks like there's a chance. Like there's a Jim Carrey sort of, you know. There's
a Jim Carrey chance. Wait, did Jim Carrey ever get that chance though? That's the real question. Because if he did, then that percentage is way higher than people think it is. That's all I'm saying.
That's true. It didn't sound like much, but it actually, you know, it made it happen. So can Alpine make it happen? That's the question here. They got a minute 30 to score 4 goals. Doing quick math here, that's about a goal every 20 seconds. We'll have to see what happens.
You did it. Nicely done.
Thank
Who
you.
says casters can't do math under pressure? Well, Dapper carries it around the corner. Completely different looking Charlotte Phoenix team. They haven't really been challenged all that much on defense in game 5, but even in game number 4, I felt like they just, again, did such a great job on defense. They didn't take those, you know, the needless challenges in midfield from the third man where you were already beat to the ball, taking too many risks. This time, they haven't really been put in a spot to take risks because every single progression down the field has been another ball on net or another challenge like that, where you see Dapper play it out to the corner and he steals the boost away. So it doesn't matter how well Alpine are positioned if you don't got the resources and you're stuck hoping Dapper doesn't hit that or doesn't hit that away from you on the backboard. You're going to have a tough time. So Charlotte Phoenix, the last minute, very cleanly theirs. Really the whole game, cleanly theirs. And another challenge in midfield, which is just a cap on how all of Game 5 is gone. We got the Brazil on the table. Connor with another.
Yeah, I think this game was wrapped up 30 seconds ago with Jorby, where Percy broke Rule 1. And it was a shocking sight to see, but as soon as I saw that slim Jim Carrey chance of Alpine coming back was nullified. And now Charlotte get another goal. The question is, can they complete the Brazil?
Well, nope. Here it comes. The 2 will be the death knell of the Brazil. If Alpine can put it on, and that's it. It's dead. Wrap it up. Cancel the series. It doesn't count. We're replaying.
Yeah, let's run this one back. I mean, that's just... It's unsportsmanlike from Percy at this point to put that goal away with 13 seconds left. I mean...
It's almost as bad as breaking the golden rule.
100%. He's done it twice now. I mean, this is 3 strikes and you're out at this point for me. I reckon we should
That's
get
how
rid of
baseball
him.
works. Yeah.
Exactly. It's unacceptable, Joby. I'm not happy at all.
Well, Alpine Esports aren't happy either, but Charlotte Phoenix are certainly happy with this win, and especially how they ended it with an exclamation point. Charlotte Phoenix looking like a completely different team by the second half of this series.
Yeah, they certainly, I mean, we put it to them in game number 5, Job. We said they've got to this position so many times in the past and they just haven't quite, you know, rose to the occasion. In this instance, straight away, off the bat, game number 5, Shadow put that goal away in the first 20 or 30 seconds, and then from then on, it was all Charlotte Phoenix. Props to them. I mean, I won't question them now if they get to that game number 5, as long as it's on Beckwith Park Stormy.
Yeah, and Stormy building up the energy. CJ, speaking of energy, if you're at home and you're feeling a little parched and you're feeling like you need a little boost, well, head to your nearest convenience store and pick up a wonderful Java Monster energy. You can go, they have these everywhere. Literally, you can't go into a store that sells drinks and not see these. Drink it up. Monster sponsoring this wonderful Summer Shuffle event. And yeah, I just had to get that in there.
Well, it's been an absolute pleasure, and Charlotte do get the win. Make sure everyone else is energized with some Monster Energy. Grab yourself some of that. However, That's all from. Well, it's actually not all from us. I think I'm still sticking around after this. But Jorby, it's been a pleasure. And after this, straight after this short break, we're going to have Stromboli coming up against Rat Enterprises. Do not go anywhere.